Alright, what's going on, everybody? So today is the day to discuss the new perk that's coming in the new map that's coming, the last map of Cold War Zombies, which is the Forsaken. And the perk is PhD Slider. Some may know it as PhD Flopper. But anyways, today I'm going to talk about the 5 tiers that we can see with this perk. Now, these tiers were not leaked. They are just speculations. I made a video about this on baaackkk and it did pretty well. It got a few thousands of views, so I'm doing it again with PhD Slider. They also added a new perk in between these two, Death Perception. Like who?
Tell me with this.
But obviously everyone wanted double tap. It's not here, but PhD Flopper, or PhD Slider I should say, is here, so let's talk about it. Alright, so I made this image on Photoshop. It took me about an hour, so please give this video a like, subscribe, turn that notification bell on so you don't miss the next upload, because this took me a pretty long damn time. It probably took me more time than however long it's going to take me to edit this video, but there are 5 tiers, and I'm honestly just going to start out with the 5th tier, because, you know, I start out usually the first to last, but I'm going to start out with the best tier first. So the best tier, the 5th tier. Now, take into consideration there may be a 6th and 7th tier added, but I doubt it, just because Cold War Zombies is coming to an end. I don't see them actually doing that. I mean, maybe back in the past they would do it, like a few months ago, or maybe when Marauder Totem dropped, but right now it's too late. So tier 5, Explosive Trail is left for 10 seconds. Now, obviously, let's talk about the base of PhD Slider. Sliding into enemies triggers an explosion. If you've ever used PhD Flopper on like Ascension or really any Black Ops 1 map besides Kino and 5, then you'll know that it makes an explosion when you dolphin dive. A lot of people were thinking, you know, maybe the tier 5 could possibly be a actual dolphin dive feature, but I highly doubt that, just because sliding has been such a revolutionary thing in Call of Duty games ever since like Call of Duty Ghosts. So I doubt they would take that out. Even if dolphin diving is an ability, it just wouldn't make sense. Sliding is just so much better, and that's why it's called PhD Slider at the end of the day. Alright, so that's the tier 5. We could start out hot. Now let's go back to tier 1, and this is where things really get started. So I put a few statistics here. Bomb cooldown reduced to 25%. Now obviously with this bomb trail, obviously it's not going to be every time you slide, or else it would be very, very overpowered. There is going to be a cooldown. I don't know what the cooldown is going to be. I didn't really make it up. I'm not good at balancing things. However, I just said the cooldown could be reduced 25%, not to 25%, but reduced 25%. So 75% of the original. So, you know, the cooldown is a little less and you can use it more often. Also, before we get into the 2nd tier, no, this is not an ad. No, this is not promoting my channel, but I actually wanted to share something informational about Cold War Zombies. So if you go on Cold War Zombies here, I'm not in the game right now, but I'll go in later and show the gameplay right now. You can see that I already have all the crystals for PhD Slider, and you may be wondering, how the hell, Sava, are you a hacker? Are you a cheater? No, none of that is true. What I actually did is I never upgraded Toxic Growth. So when baaackkk came out originally, I had 5 flawless, 4 refined, and the other 5 normal raw Ethereum crystals. I had all of those because the game wanted me to upgrade Toxic Growth, but instead I didn't, and I just waited for baaackkk to come out. So once baaackkk came out, I used all my crystals right away. I played obviously to do the Easter egg and everything, and I got all those crystals back to upgrade Toxic Growth. But now, right away, right when this map drops or Season 6 drops, I'm going to get tier 5 of PhD Slider. So something, you know, you can add. I actually put that in the Marauder Totem video that I made, but I wanted to put it in more clearly in this video. It's probably not going to be as informational, just because, you know, really everyone already has everything to tier 5, but it's just something cool that you can get PhD Slider to tier 5 right away. So tier 2, 25% damage buff for all explosive weapons. Now this was kind of just like a generic one. I didn't really know what to think. I think this was like the last one I put, and I put it at tier 1. Really, tier 1 and tier 2 could just be basically swapped. It's really, they're very generic, very basic, but this would just increase damage for rocket launchers. I don't think I put in splash damage weapons like, you know, the ray gun. That's for later. But, you know, just explosive weapons. So this wouldn't be pretty good. Honestly, you could probably swap this with the first one, just because no one uses explosive weapons in 2021. But yeah, that's tier 2. Now let's take a step back. Let's go back to Black Ops 1, where PhD Flopper was in its prime. Believe it or not, PhD Flopper actually had 3 abilities. You may be thinking, Sava, there's not 3, there's only 2. and you're probably thinking it's the bombs is the first one, and also that you take no splash damage. That's what made the ray gun so good on Black Ops 1 compared to Black Ops 2 or Black Ops 3. Also, did you know that PhD Flopper was on Origins? Like, obviously, I've played Origins a bunch, I would know that, but a lot of people just don't know that because Treyarch loves pissing us off. They love putting PhD Flopper in maps that it doesn't belong in. For example, it's in Origins, but there's no Mustang and Sallies on Origins. The Wonder Weapons are not explosives, or they don't do splash damage. The only thing that you could use PhD Flopper on Origins is basically just the ray gun, so it is a waste. And I feel like that's kind of what shaped PhD Flopper in a way. It's so overrated because it was put into the maps that it didn't belong on. It belonged on Die Rise, it belonged on really every Black Ops 3 map, but it wasn't there when we needed it most. Instead, it's on the shitty maps, like Origins. Origins is not a shitty map, but it's a shitty map for PhD to be in, so that's why it's very overrated. So many people love PhD. I find it just, you know, a normal perk. It's like literally bomb stoppers from Infinite Warfare. It's the same thing. It's just more iconic because it has a more iconic name, I guess. Anyways, the third ability that many people forget about is that it negates all fall damage, and that kind of gets me into tier 3 because stamina already has that tier. I think it's tier 2, maybe 3, or maybe even 4, but you basically just take no fall damage, and it's kind of overpowered. PhD Slider tier 3, it negates all explosive damage and all splash damage. So this is actually really good for people, first of all, using the ray gun, because the ray gun actually does splash damage, although it barely does anything, especially with like Jug tier 5 and armor and all that, Dying Wish even. It's so hard to go down with splash damage. You can shoot yourself in the foot 10 times and you won't go down. But this would also be good with explosive guns. Although many people don't use explosive weapons like the RPGs, they do use it for leveling up, and I think that would actually be really good. Okay, so we got tier 5, tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 done. Let's get into tier 4. This is the final tier. Bomb damages 150% when sliding from height. So I don't know if back in the day, if you were to dolphin dive from the top of the stairs of Ascension, if you actually did more damage, but it would just make so much more sense. Like if you were to jump on someone, it would hurt. But if you were to jump on someone from a flight of stairs, it would hurt 150% more. So that's why I added tier 4. Anyways, yeah, that's going to be the video, guys. Tier 1 through 5. Pretty straightforward. This is PhD Slider coming in the game October 7th, I believe, with the new Forsaken map. I'm going to have a video up of me playing it and everything. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did watch till the end, make sure to leave a like. And I will see you boys in the next one. Peace.